nobody photographs the before. Not really. You get the announcement, the promotion post, the handshake photo, the LinkedIn update with the understated caption that somehow manages to say everything without saying anything. You get the after. Clean, edited, framed. Nobody photographs what it actually cost. This is that. You are 24. You share a 2-bedroom apartment with someone you found on an app. You sleep on a mattress that was delivered in a box and never fully expanded. Your side of the bathroom has 3 things on the shelf. You are not romantic about the simplicity. You are just broke and organized about it. You have $340 in checking. A student loan balance you have stopped looking at directly. The way you stop looking at a scar once you've memorized where it is. You have a job that pays $41,000 a year and takes approximately $61,000 worth of your energy. This is not a complaint. This is coordinates. You need to know where you're starting from, or you'll spend the rest of your life confusing movement for progress. The first sacrifice nobody tells you about is sleep. Not in the hustle culture way, not in the wear your exhaustion as a badge way, in the quiet, structural way, where you are working 2 hours after your apartment goes dark because that's the only time the noise stops and you can actually think. Where Sunday morning becomes your most productive window because the world hasn't started asking things of you yet. You lose sleep the way you lose coins. Gradually. Without a specific moment you can point to. And then one day you realize you can't remember the last time you woke up without immediately reaching for your phone to check something that couldn't wait. You don't talk about this. You're 26 now. You've been promoted once. You have a title that sounds more important than it is and a salary that sounds less important than it should. $54,000. You've moved to a studio by yourself. The rent is $1,180. You eat the same 5 meals on rotation, not because you lack imagination, but because decision fatigue is real, and grocery shopping requires a version of you that doesn't always show up after 9 hours of other people's urgencies. The first rule: every level of success has a currency. The question is whether you know what you're spending. The second sacrifice is the relationships that quietly expire, not dramatically. Nobody has a fight. Nobody says the thing that ends it. What happens is softer and harder to grieve. You just stop being available at the same time. Your college friends gather on Saturdays. You work Saturdays now, not because anyone asked you to, but because the person you're competing with for the next opportunity doesn't take Saturdays off. And you know this without having been told. You miss a birthday, then a wedding shower, then a trip to somewhere that would have been easy 2 years ago and is now logistically impossible. You send the gift. You send the voice memo. You mean both. But meaning it and doing it are different currencies, and you are spending the one you have. You are 28. Net worth just crossed $30,000. The first time a number has felt real to you in that way. The way a city feels real the first time you land in it at night and see the lights. You have a Roth IRA you actually understand now. You have a brokerage account you check with curiosity instead of anxiety. You have slightly fewer friends than you did 4 years ago. You are not sure the math was wrong. You are not sure it was right. You start something on the side. Not a passion project. That language has been ruined. Just a thing you're good at that the market will pay for if you package it correctly. You spend 14 months packaging it correctly. During those 14 months, you do not watch much television. You do not go to many things you're invited to. You have a notebook with a system in it. Not motivational, just functional. Dates, numbers, next actions. The notebook is not aesthetic. It works. Your partner at the time says you're not present. They're right. You are present in the room and somewhere else entirely. You are building a spreadsheet in your head during dinner. You are calculating timelines in the shower. You are reading contracts on your phone in the car before you walk into the restaurant. The relationship ends. Not because of one thing, because of the accumulated weight of 100 small absences that each felt justifiable in isolation. You grieve it. You keep building. Both things are true at the same time. You are 29. Your side income passes $3,000 a month. You don't celebrate. You reinvest. The machine needs feeding before it can feed you. The second rule: what you build in private will eventually speak publicly. The problem is you pay for it privately first. Your net worth crosses $100,000. You are 31. You thought this number would feel like a rival. It doesn't. It feels like confirmation. A signal that the direction is right, not that the destination has been reached. You upgrade nothing visible. You upgrade your thinking. You find two people who are 5 years ahead of you and study them the way you used to study exam material. Not their lifestyle, their logic, the way they frame decisions, the questions they ask before they say yes to anything. You start saying no with less explanation. This costs you socially. People read brevity as coldness and economy of words as arrogance. You are not cold. You are protecting something that isn't yet strong enough to survive being distributed too widely. The third sacrifice is the version of yourself that was easy to be around. Not because you've become difficult, because you've become specific. You have opinions now that you didn't have the confidence to hold before. You have standards that eliminate options other people keep open. You have a way of seeing the cost of things, time, energy, attention, that makes you slower to commit and faster to exit. This is useful. It is also lonely in a way that's difficult to explain to someone who hasn't felt it. You are making $97,000 at your job. Your business generates $6,800 a month. You have crossed a threshold most people you grew up with haven't crossed. You know this. You don't say it. The knowing and the not saying create their own kind of pressure. A low, constant hum of context that doesn't translate. $200,000 net worth. You are 34. You drive the same car. Not as a statement, because the car works and the money has better places to go. You have 2 rental properties. A portfolio that returns more in a quarter than your first job paid in a year. You have a financial advisor who charges more than the last one and speaks less. You understood immediately why this was the right trade. What nobody told you about this level is the silence. Not external silence, the internal kind. The place where ambition used to be loud, where it announced itself every morning with urgency and appetite, has become quieter. Not empty, quieter. The drive is still there. It's just more precise now. Less noise, more signal. You sit with your parents at dinner. They are proud of you in the way parents are proud when they don't fully understand what you do but can see that it's working. Your father asks questions that are 3 years behind where you actually are. You answer where he is, not where you are. This is not condescension. This is love in the form of meeting someone where they stand. You notice you do this in more conversations than just that one. The third rule: the higher you build, the more you speak in translations. Eventually, you can't always find your way back to the original language. Here is what the press release would say if press releases told the truth. He sacrificed sleep for 7 years. He missed dinners that mattered and attended dinners that didn't. He lost a relationship he valued to a version of himself that couldn't be in 2 places at once and kept choosing the same place. He became someone his 24-year-old self would find impressive and slightly unrecognizable. He doesn't regret it. He also doesn't pretend the accounting was clean. Because that's the thing nobody tells you at the beginning. The cost isn't the hard work. Hard work is simple. You know what it asks of you. The cost is the quiet things, the dinners you weren't at, the version of yourself that was easier to love, the Saturdays that dissolved into strategy, the friend you kept meaning to call, the moment you realized you'd optimized the spontaneity out of your own life and weren't sure how to get it back, or whether getting it back was even the right frame. Somewhere tonight, a 24-year-old is building something in the hours after their apartment goes dark. They think the sacrifice is the sleep. It isn't. They'll figure out what it is. Eventually, when they're far enough along to look back at the shape of what they left behind. The machine doesn't tell you what it costs. It just opens every morning and waits to see who shows up. Show up. But know what you're paying. Know exactly what you're paying.